Okay. It's 5:28:25. What does that translate to? I'm not really sure, but that's what today's date is. No, I'm just kidding. It's May 28th, 2025. Made big headway on the USSR's structured bill queue for the World War II era. Um, these are the tanks. I put together several charts to keep it organized. This is no different than how I've done my previous bill queues with the way I'm going about doing it, but I've developed a more structured approach to doing it that eases the process of doing it by keeping things organized in separate databases for reference as I'm doing it. Here's my compiled list of Soviet production facilities that I'm building as I'm going along. So far I've got self-propelled guns done, anti-tank and artillery. Tanks, battle tanks, um, and also logistics. And these are the factories that I've assembled thus far in this list with their hex locations identified and adjusted for fitment on the map with those classes identified and written into the game now. So we've got, well, these are pretty much the primary facilities. Some of these, like I put notes here, this one was, the machinery was transported to Omsk. Both facilities were existing in 1936, but in 1941, at the onset of the siege of Leningrad, most of the machinery was moved from the Leningrad location for factory number 174 and was used to increase production capacities at Omsk. So both these factories are on the map at the start. This one will be reduced based on conditions and variables met during the game, and this one will increase in capacity, etc. And yeah, it's going along good. So here's the primary statistics I'm relying on to put this Orbat together, this in-game Orbat. It's not exact to detail. It's broken down in organized segments, and I apply some intuitive logic, I guess you could call it, to the way I space out and fill out the production numbers per year for certain units based on articles I read in regard to production of these said units. So it does deviate a little bit, but it's more or less structured in an even format. I take the total number of units, I'd get a number I need in actual in-game units based on the battalion strength. So if there were 700 units produced, in reality that translates to 12 bats. For tanks, 54 goes into 700, I guess, 12 times roughly. So that's how I get the 6 and the 6. This is I'm just trying that. I don't know if it'll actually produce a half of a battalion. I know you can divide the battalions in the game. I don't know to what extent you can do that in an Orbat or prompt. like this. I don't know if it'll build a half a unit. We'll find out. Yeah, everything's done. This is all thoroughly imported into the game. And as I did this, I searched my CSV files for any existing prompts where I had these units listed, so I removed those and replaced them with the historical build queue. So the numbers for these units that are now done are accurate, as opposed to kind of being strewn in there throughout. Like if I read for certain battles that certain units were present, in the past I would just make sure that some of those were scattered into the unit file for that particular sequence of events. Now I have a super detailed AI request sheet that I detailed for the Soviet Union. So the AI should fill out the requests reasonably accurate, to a reasonably accurate degree, throughout the game, based on the prompts that it's when it's requested to send certain unit types to certain locations for certain events. It should respond fairly well, and this will just make sure that the historical quotas are met for unit production, so that by default, without really having to intervene, the units that will be requested to fill those requests should be available based on the creation of these two separate systems within the unit events file. Taking notes on foreign exports for various units, and I'm keeping that information on a separate list, like that, so I can work those into the game at a later time. Right now I'm just focusing on getting the quantity, locations established, quantity, locations established, and getting all that defined first, and then I'll worry about foreign sales and whatnot separate from this. So that's tanks. Tank factory list. Self-propelled guns, artillery. Yeah, Soviet Union didn't really have a broad selection of self-propelled guns in the artillery class. They're primarily anti-tank. Logistics. Some of these are only partially completed just because of the volume of vehicles that were actually made. These are the anti-tank type SPG self-propelled guns. This is 30, SU-76, SU-85, ISU-152, ML-20. This is a prototype. It's still in the game, because if somebody's actually playing the game, they can make it not a prototype. But for the historical Orbat, it doesn't get included. Joseph Stalin, 122, 122 millimeter. That was probably the A-22 cannon or whatever. SU-100. And that's all of them. And then they go here, to my events, put them into the mainframe, primary events. The USSR's events, and I got at the bottom their in-game deployments order, build queue. And that's everything I just showed you in a condensed format. And I take it from here. I remove the extra notations and the spacers. I put it in the regular unit file. That's all that. And then I go into the game and I re-cache. I'm just kidding. Cache. And then that's in there. That's how that works. That's how I got that done, and almost done constructing USSR's land-based historical Corvette. I've still got to review their infantry divisions. Motorized infantry. So I gotta do these. Actually, that should be all rushes. It could be, I think that's all rushes. Infantry based type vehicles that I've got listed anyway. Recons, they're all Russian. Some of these are existing in the orbit. They won't get defined in the in-game build queue. Others will. And of course I got to do the towed artillery, which is Russia's anti-tanks, Russia's, or USSR's. That's it. And all of their land units will be done. So, more than halfway done doing the USSR's ORF file. That's a huge part of the game. Alright, that's my video, that's my update. Let's check.